Good morning. Welcome to the Home Comfort Show. I'm Mike Solomon with Anthem Air Conditioning, and today we're going to talk about energy efficiency myths that are busted. So I'm going to go over 10 myths about energy efficiency issues that people sometimes believe and why those aren't true. A lot of these are misconceptions that lead people to do things in their home that either cause them to pay extra, less comfort in their home, things like that. And I want to make sure that we have some clarity on that. First one we're going to go over is turning the thermostat way down at night saves energy. So when you turn the thermostat down, a lot of people believe that, hey, I'm going to use less electricity at night because I turn down the thermostat, or less natural gas. I'm going to save money and just bundle up under the sheets. But the reality is while lowering can save you money and save energy, if you turn it down too much, you're going to end up having your home cold. And when you wake up in the morning and want to raise that temperature back up, you're going to spend a lot of that fuel and energy reheating your home. So while turning it down a couple of degrees, let's say 5, maybe 6, 7 degrees, can definitely be a good thing. If you do turn it off or turn it down too much, and then in the morning you want to heat your home back up, your appliance is going to use a lot more energy in order to heat that home back up to where it needs to be, as opposed to letting it stay at that temperature level. Another one, this is really common. People close vents in unused rooms. So they go, well, I'm not using that room. If I just close the vent in that room, then all that energy, the heating energy, goes to the areas of the home that I want it to go. That's really false, because when we design air conditioner systems, we design these things so that all of the air is distributed properly throughout the house. So certain rooms get a certain amount of air, and that's how the system's designed. Your ductwork's designed to deliver all the air that's being pushed through your system, through your house, and evenly distribute that air to each room properly. When you plug up or close a vent, what you're doing is putting more back pressure on your air conditioner system or heater, because now you basically closed up an area. Now you have more pressure coming out, and you may increase the velocity of some of the air in some of the rooms. But when you do that, it's not pushing a lot more of that energy there. It's just creating a little more velocity and costing you more, because now you've created pressure on that. I always like to think of, let's say that you have 5 straws or 6 straws in your mouth, and you're blowing out each one of those straws. If you plug up one of those straws and still blow at the same level, you may have a little more velocity coming out, but you have to blow harder. The more straws you plug up, the harder you're going to have to put, the more energy you're going to have to put into blowing out of that straws. So by the time you get down to 1 straw, if you're trying to get the same amount of velocity out of there, or same amount of air out of 1 straw that you get out of 5, you're going to have to be blowing pretty hard, and the velocity out of that straw is going to be much faster, which you don't want. Creates noise and other issues on your system. So don't close the vents in unused areas. That is a myth, and you don't want to do that. Number 3, space heaters are always cheaper than central air. I'll just turn off my heater, my central air heater, and I'll just get a space heater for this one room where I'm sitting in. So although on the short term that can actually be true, the reality is, if you're only in that room for a little bit, or if you're moving rooms and taking that space heater with you, that space heater has to heat that air in that room. And then when you leave that room, it has to restart again to heat a cold area. So if you're doing things throughout your home, it's much more efficient to let your central heater just heat your house properly as it's designed to do, than try to use a space heater to follow you around and heat the area that you're walking to from space to space. Number 4, setting the thermostat higher will heat the house faster. That is so untrue, and yet so many people do it. They go, well, the house is cold, so if I just turn the thermostat up to like 95 degrees, it'll warm my house up quicker. That's not true. That is a myth. Don't do it. Set the temperature to the temperature you want, and your house will get to that temperature at the same rate that it will if you set the temperature higher. Your system is designed to heat your home at a certain rate, okay? No matter how high that temperature is set or how cold your house is, it's going to keep changing that temperature in that house at the same rate. Changing that temperature and turning it up is not going to make your house heat faster. Don't do it because it's just going to use more energy. You end up overheating your house, then you're letting it cool back down, and then overheating your house and cool back down. Let your thermostat and system do what it's designed to do. Set the temperature to your preferred temperature and let it heat to that level. Cranking the heat is cheaper than using a humidifier. Humidity holds heat. When we have a furnace, and especially a furnace, it dries out the air. Dry air feels cooler than humid air. So if you think about like Florida, where it's humid out, especially in their summertime, their 90-degree air feels so much warmer than, let's say, where we live here in Coachella Valley, Southern California, where it's very dry. 90 degrees out here, we're loving it. It is wonderful. 90 degrees in Florida can feel sticky, muggy, just ugly because of the humidity level. So inside your home, if you're using a furnace and you're heating up that dry air, basically drying out your house, you have to heat it to a higher level to feel comfortable than if you add a little humidity into your home and let that humidity basically hold some of that heat in your house. So having a bit of humidity, I'm not saying go crazy on your humidity because it creates other problems, but a reasonable level of humidity in your house is a good thing to have when you're trying to heat your home because it's going to hold that heat. Number 6, larger HVAC systems heat more efficiently than smaller ones. Again, when we sell somebody an air conditioner system, we want to make sure we size the system properly for their home. If we put a system in that's too large, you're going to create problems with your home of a short cycle. So it's going to blow a lot of heat really fast, overheating that house in the wintertime, overcooling that house in the summertime too quickly, and then it shuts off and your house basically levels itself back out and this thing comes back on. The larger the system, the more energy it uses. Think about a large semi-truck. Those large semi-trucks have larger engines. They use more fuel to go from point A to point B versus a Prius, okay, from point A to point B. You want to make sure that you're using the right sized system for your thing. You can never haul the trailer of a semi-truck using a Prius, but you would be way oversized in your Prius if it's just you, your wife, and your kids, and you have a semi-truck engine in there. So right sizing is the most efficient thing. Do not think that I need a larger system. If you're comfortable in your house with the size system you have, then that's the correct size. If for some reason you're not comfortable, there's other things that can be looked at, like insulation levels, your windows and doors, those types of things, to make sure that your home is efficient before you look at increasing the size or that motor that's heating and cooling your home. Number 7, The thermostat should be set at 68. So somewhere out there, somebody said 68 is the optimal thermostat temperature setting that we should have in our homes. I don't know where that came from. 68 is just a recommendation because probably a lot of people say 68 feels comfortable to me, but the ideal temperature depends on you. What is your comfort level? A lot of older people out here say, hey, I like it a little bit warmer. They may go up to 75, 76, while younger people and maybe people are snowbirds say, hey, look, I like it colder. Give me 62 and I'm comfortable at 62. Okay. So finding that right temperature for you is the proper temperature for your house. Now, if you have a husband and wife, you may have to fight over that right temperature, but just know that there is a right temperature for your house, and that depends on the individual. Number 8, it's always better to use electric heat than oil or gas. So although we are changing and we're moving to a more efficient system, the electric heater, okay, so we're using heat pumps, and that seems to be the way that our government is pushing things. They are more efficient, as in they use 100% of the heat created actually gets into your duct system and house versus out of the flue vent that takes a percentage of that heat that you're paying for out of your house, along with the gases that are created by the natural gas and propane furnaces. But the reality is gas is cheaper right now. And so even though electricity is a cleaner source of electricity and it is much more efficient, the cost of gas is much less than the cost of electricity. So in some cases, a furnace is the right choice if you're concerned about your heating costs in your home. Out here, we have a very low heating cost typically. So I encourage people to look at the heat pumps, but some people are familiar and comfortable with their furnace. They understand the cost of gas is less, and so they want to stay with the furnace system. And for the meantime, you can, but in the future, we'll see if the government really starts to push that away, and they've been steering that way. Number 9, you do not need to do a winter HVAC maintenance. Get this sometimes where people go, hey, you know what? I hardly use my air conditioner system in the wintertime. Don't worry about coming out and taking care of my winter maintenance because I'm going to turn it on maybe 5-6 times on the coldest nights. Otherwise, I keep it off, don't even use it. But the reality is a winter maintenance is necessary, even if you do not use your heater that much. The reason that we want a winter maintenance is because when we do a winter maintenance, we are looking at different parts of the system than we do during our summer maintenance. Our summer maintenance, we're much more concentrated on the condenser, on refrigerant levels, on your coil, that type of area, while your winter maintenance, we're much more concerned about and focus our attention on the furnace, the blower, the safety features of your system, your duct system, your attic insulation. Those areas are what we're looking at in the winter maintenance. And if you ignore your winter maintenance, you're going to cause your system to break down earlier. You're going to cause an increase in repair costs when it does break down. You're going to lower the efficiency of your total system, and your indoor air quality can suffer because we're not looking at that filter, ductwork, things like that that are affecting your indoor air quality. So winter maintenance, totally different stuff that we're looking at and addressing to make sure that they're properly done. Get the winter maintenance done. And then number 10, old windows are fine. In the summer you can use curtains. In the winter, just let the sun come in and warm your place up. But the reality is old windows are drafty. The curtains and stuff, they may protect from the direct heat, but there's a lot of latent heat that comes in. So latent heat would be like without the direct sun, if you put your hand on one side of the window, you can feel the heat coming in, versus direct sun where you get that direct sun heat in there. The newer windows actually are awesome. They're they're sealed properly. They you can actually feel very little temperature change when the sun comes through. It's still comfortable. You don't feel that heat. So it's a great way to keep your house comfortable, is to look at windows. So if you want to change out your windows, it will help your heating and cooling costs. So those are 10 myths out there. I'm sure there's a couple more out there that we could hit on, but if you have questions or something doesn't sound right, or you have anything you want to run by us, give us a call. We'd love to make sure that your system is prepared for the winter, even if you're not using it as much as you do in the summertime. Make sure your filters are changed and that your system is safe when you do turn it on. Give us a call at Anthem. We'd love to help you out. We got a $99 tune-up. That's a one-time tune-up. Or you can sign up for our maintenance agreement, which is a $14.95 per month per system, or $185 if you want to go with our yearly plan. I'm Mike with Anthem Air Conditioning, helping you out to answer your questions, and we'd love to talk to you soon.
We want to thank you for joining us today. We hope you found today's Home Comfort Show with Mike Solomon helpful. We know as the cost of energy continues to rise, as homeowners, we want to do everything we can to ensure our homes are as efficient as possible. We created a free home energy assessment designed to help you see how efficient your home is, and if there are opportunities to save money. To take the assessment, just click the link in the description. Thank you again for joining us today.